Yo, you gotta believe to achieve if you handle your business for self. Yo, you gotta believe to achieve to handle business for your YOLO, homie. Go all out, no doubt. You know what the hell I'm talking about. 2, 3, here we go. What's up? This is Life in America, the Castro Vegas show. We're here with a little tip right from the block. Cannibalism. KKK, cannibalism.
Klanswoman.
We're here with
I'll eat you.
Ding.
Shady.
Damian Pruitt, Instant Comics, Sean Kearney out working, they usually here. Jared Levin, he's getting to the bag. We're going to sum up today this week's topics with school shooters. And I know that a lot of you are like, man, the school year is over with, thank God. We had an unprecedented number of school shootings. But I'm gonna say something that I never really say. I was triggered and I had anxiety.
How?
Because that's white people work.
How were you triggered?
That's usually timid white women words. Triggered and have anxiety. But I was with a friend and they showed me this video of people going into a school. And the thing about it is that the kids didn't go to school there. They were like, hey, we're gonna go pull a prank. And it was an innocent prank, it was a real prank, but it was so crazy how they just walked into the school, they were videoing, and one guy he was with had a mask on, and then they walked into a classroom where kids having an examination. And I felt like, man, this is, I had a real anxiety. Like, I was thinking that the guy was going to pull out a gun and start shooting those kids, and it's...
Where's security? Where's the surveillance cameras? Where's...
What you said,
police.
The things that you're saying is what I was thinking, but I also had to go back into my generation and how I was raised. And when we was coming up, it was okay. You know, hey, your big brother would go up to the school. He went there. He was a high school football player, and it was no problems. And it makes you kind of wonder, like, where did these problems come from? Because in my day, in the early 90s, we did a lot of stuff, but you didn't shoot the school up. Even gang activity in the late 80s, they did not shoot the school up. They might have shot outside the school, but schools were off limits. It wasn't until the trench coat mafia, 2 white guys, just outcasts, that's what they called themselves, 98, 97, that it was the beginning of school shooting. I mean, and this thing has snowballed from, 10, 20, shooting elementary schools up. And we need to figure out how to curb this, because it makes what's a positive experience going to high school a traumatic experience of having to wake up and go to school. Like, hey, you fear for your life. Yeah. And I want to get some of your views before we end this week's segment.
Just going out
into the world, onto the streets, the American streets.
When we were at the theaters, anywhere we go, I'm just looking around constantly.
You don't feel safe. Who's gonna do what? Shoot what?
Exactly.
Who's gonna run over you in a car? Who's gonna hit you? Hit and run.
Not that shooting. I was like,
but hit and run too.
Well, yeah, sure.
Some places are it was an understood, designated safe place when you went to school. Like, hey, man, like I'm pretty much safe at school.
Yeah, but what about pedophiles? They're out there now. The pedophiles that want to rape, molest your children that go from school to your home, or even the teachers, even the pastor of a church can molest your children, and we're not safe no more. We just really have to watch and listen and hear with your eyes and see what's going on, because of our surroundings.
That's very true. You have to be
with our surroundings.
You have to be cautious of
You got to speak to the teacher. You got to speak to the priest and see if he's got his mindset.
What do you think about this?
So it definitely makes me highly uncomfortable, but I'm not sure why people become like a lot more unhinged over the last decade or so. Like, because I know like people with mental illness, they always existed, but why is seems to be a recent outburst, especially in the States.
But they're getting the guns and rifles. Who's giving them to them? Where do they get the guns? Where do they get the guns and rifles?
Unleash their anger. And what I want to say is, if you have bottled up some anger for so long, go hunting or whatnot. Don't kill innocent people.
Deer, go shoot deer.
Yeah,
in Michigan.
Don't kill defenseless children who did nothing wrong to you, right? So it's just like there are other healthier ways to cope with that.
Castro.
But I think one more thing I want to add is that I feel like I'm not sure if it's mainly a Western thing, but men men are always expected to be tough or be stronger. So naturally, they just don't talk about their feelings. They don't want to go see a therapist instead, and that's gonna be a problem if you are bottling up all of those emotions for too long. And you need an outlet. That's expected, but if you don't know how to process those kind of emotions or how to communicate with other people, you're going to end up
damaged goods.
Yeah, as those shooters. So it's important to remind people it doesn't matter your gender identity. Everybody can be vulnerable or have emotional needs at times, and you have to deal with those things. Yeah.
We'll kind of switch gears a little bit, but when you look at the reasons, kids emulate their parents. So, like I said, when I was watching that video of the people
Castro,
walking
look at
on,
the violence in the movies, Castro. The kids watch the violence in the movies of shooting and killing. Don't you think that's going to register in your brain? Especially brains are still developing.
The movies were pretty violent back in the days. It's just that
70s too.
And I turned out to be okay.
It's just that the things that was acceptable. Like walking on the campus, right? If you was to see the video of how they walked on the campus just so nonchalantly and they just opened the door, it just flooded my mind of like how many school shooters just walked in, and then walked into a classroom and then, it was chaos. So.
Castro, I'm going to tell you something too if you want to end the show. Let me tell you, Nazi George Soros is the puppet master. They're trying to take away our Second Amendment in the Constitution. So they do these theatrical, scripted hoax around MGM assassination a couple of years ago. Uvalde, Texas, Nashville, it was all paid for by George Soros. Reason, goal is to take away your gun from your home to protect you. That's why they do these theatrical hoaxes. So don't fall for these white, Jewish, old rich men.
Look, this is the thing. If that's the case, that is the wrong way to go about
It's called
crime.
chaos for profit.
It's the wrong
chaos for profit.
It's the wrong way to go about trying to take away somebody's gun.
Life.
Because
what about life?
How can you say, hey, look, I'm going to go shoot these kids up or pretend to shoot somebody up or try to create some type of fantasy and by killing kids at school? That does not equate to take away the gun.
George Soros paid them all. All the taxes, they were all paid for by George. That's why they didn't save the kids.
The common sense thing is that it's your house.
But you get trespassers. You get trespassers in your house.
From the 1980s and 90s, when the drug epidemic, not shooting up the schools. You having metal detectors in the schools. How are you going to have white people with money in the suburbs with no metal detectors, no clear backpacks, no type of barrier of entry to prevent the shootings? But
Puppet Master George Soros is trying to change America. I get bombings in front of my door on Manchester and Western. They bomb a loud sound. I don't know if Maxine Water has something to do with it, but they bomb at rails or whatever. It's a big boom. So boom that it could give you a heart attack. They do this like every other day. So what the fuck's going on with these fucking
this is life in America.
What the hell?
And this is something totally.
I gotta move out of this area.
We'll talk about that
I gotta get
another time. But hey, get ready for the oncoming mental onslaught, mental warfare, sensory deprivation. Those are topics we'll talk about next week. And this is Life in America.
It's all about you. It's all about.
Nobody gonna do for you, so go for self. Hey, yo, cause only self is gonna go for self. Just feeling myself.